try and understand all these dynamics. We've got Ed Yardeni joining in on the show right now. Ed, hi, good morning. Great to have you on the show. Finally, that 43-day shutdown seems to be coming to a halt, but what's the sense that you're getting? Because, like we were just discussing, it's funding up until only Jan 30th. What happens after that?
Yeah, well, Washington continues to be a source of volatility and uncertainty. Policymaking certainly has been that way the entire year. And yet the stock markets learned to deal with that quite well. And that's largely because the earnings situation has been remarkably strong in the face of all that volatility coming out of policymaking. So the first, second, and now the third quarters of this year turned out to be quite a bit stronger. The growth rate has almost been twice as fast as was initially thought before the actual results. So that's really what's driving the U.S. stock market higher. Earnings have gone to record highs.
Yeah, yet, if you can also, give us a perspective on the economic data that is expected over the next few weeks, because that would be crucial from a perspective of the Fed policy which is there.
Correct. Well, for the past 3 years, we've had the most widely anticipated recession that never occurred. I think the economy has demonstrated its resilience in the face of all sorts of very significant shocks. And yet here we are with real GDP at an all-time record high. I'm betting on the continued resilience of the economy. Before the shutdown, we did get an upward revision in real GDP for the second quarter to almost 4%. The Atlanta Fed is estimating that the fourth quarter number is about, the third quarter number is around 4%. And I think clearly the fourth quarter is going to be depressed by the government shutdown. But I think going into the new year, the data is going to show that the consumers are still consuming and capital spending remains strong, led by technology.
Hi, Ed. This is Harsha. Ed, trying to get a sense, U.S. tariffs, does it reshape market leadership? Does it reshape global supply chain? Or do you believe it's going to be status quo very, very soon? Give us a sense of that.
Very, very good question. I don't think it's going to be status quo very soon. I think that because of all the tariff issues that have occurred this year, many of our trading partners are trying to find more reliable trading partners and trying to diversify and expand their markets around the world. We've seen that, for example, with Canada. Canada and India had some unhappy relationships that now seem to be mending because the Canadians want to do more business in India. The same thing's going on between Canada and China. And certainly in terms of the supply chain, lots of countries and lots of companies want to diversify away from being overly dependent on China. The Chinese threatened to reduce the availability of their rare earths. They gave us sort of a 1-year grace period here. And I think everybody's going to be scrambling to find rare earths in other places, parts of the world.
Ed, also, if you can give us an indication on, we got this funding bill passed by the House, but it only takes you till the end of January. So is there going to be a further showdown between both Democrats and Republicans going forward?
Well, January could be kind of interesting, right? Because as you said, this deal is a very short deal between the Democrats and Republicans. And then also in January, it's expected that the Supreme Court might rule on the tariffs. So there's going to be a lot of news coming out of Washington. I think that the president is going to find that the Supreme Court very likely will rule against him with regards to which will be quite a problem because money will have to be returned, and that could have an adverse impact on the bond market. And I think under those circumstances, I think certainly the administration would like to avoid another shutdown. So no, I don't think we're going to have another shutdown. I think the Democrats also got burned with this shutdown. So I think they're going to. I don't think they're going to play nice, but they're not going to shut down the government again.
Ed, pleasure talking to you today. Thank you very much for joining us today at 80 Now.
Thank you.